Computer. Okay. All right. Welcome back, everyone. It is now January, what is it, the 13th, I think. I think it's the 13th. Can't get to my numbers. Yeah, there it is. January 13th. So we've got a week and a bit in progress already. Just to recap then. So some of you did not submit goals yet, and most of you did. There was just a few of you from the January chat that did not yet submit goals. Just a reminder that that's a condition of being on that chat, the chat which is the monthly chat that is separate from the general chats, so that we can help monitor your progress, your goals, and any ABC calls that you might want to schedule with myself or with Dave. So just a reminder that if you haven't done that, that is a requirement. Um, so I did want to ask, however, for those of you who did set some goals, and in lieu of yet last week's call, did you transfer some of those goals into activities or a to-do list that is a daily to-do list? If you have, that's what I'd like to start this conversation off with tonight. Dave, I'm not sure if you're on. Are you on by via phone?
No, I'm on my phone. Yeah.
Okay, so that's you. You're very faint. Let me just rename you here so I know that that's you. Okay. All right. So I guess you're in your travel. Well, I don't know. Are you back in California, back in Florida? Not hearing you. Okay. Um, let's just continue. Yeah, just in lieu of the California situation, it's been a bit of a crazy week. I'm sure for many of you, I have family there who had to evacuate, and they're back, but they've got an eye on things. So, well, we hope that the people who have suffered a great loss are able to bounce back. It's not a small thing, um, and and I know that um, the air condition there is not very good as well. So, if you've got any contacts in the California area and they're needing to breathe some clean air, that might be something to talk to them about. We do have that as an option, because it's not just smoke, it's everything that burned. All the materials that went up in smoke uh, created such a toxic soup in the environment. So something to be concerned about. Anyways, back on track. So this call, those of you, I see a lot of new faces. I take it you're getting the messages from Nikan. They're now sending the message out that this call, Aligning with Success, is actually a weekly call. So let me give a little recap for those of you who are new. This is a call that started out over 10 years ago. Um, and it's a weekly call dedicated to helping consultants who are in business building mode align their activities, their objectives, and their activities and their understanding with what it takes to succeed in building a successful Nikken business. However, many of these calls have also spoken about what do we mean by a successful Nikken business. You could be in Nikken and operate a small retail business, and you could be successful in
And you
doing
could be
that.
successful in doing that.
Oh, we got an echo, Dave. Okay, that's better. Um, Otherwise, you could also be in the business of just sponsoring people, but not seeing two or three generations or more of duplication happening. That's more of the direct sales business, kind of our small business model. That's also something you can earn quite a substantial income with because of the new We Accelerate bonus that's Niken's put in place. For every new consultant you enroll, you earn an additional 20% of the volume that they produce in their first 4 months of business, their personal volume, which is huge. And then there's the network marketing model, which is what we focus on. here on this call primarily. The network marketing model is a model that allows you the full meal deal, if you will, the full experience of what this network marketing business can offer you. And it means improving and increasing your awareness of the conversations that you would have with prospects that would lead them to want to become part of your network marketing business versus just a customer. Now, we've also in this call acknowledged that over the years, Niken has taken a turn toward the retail model. It's like the pendulum swung so far left that most people have almost forgotten how to network market. And the pendulum is now swinging back. And Niken, with our new CEO and president, Luis Kasuga, has been diligent about rebuilding the infrastructure that we lost in that transition so that we become once again a viable and exciting network marketing offering. And that's where we're at right now. And that is underscored by the fact that he announced in December on his last call of the year the goal that he has for Niken Corporate is to achieve 500 million in volume as a corporation by the end of by the end of this decade, so by 2030. So that would mean a company that is 10 times the production it is right now. Now, I don't think any of you want to work 10 times harder, and I don't think any of you imagine yourself selling 10 times as many people necessarily. What I do imagine, though, is that this is only made possible in a network. That kind of a goal expectation is only realistic if you're building a network marketing business, which means we really need to tune up and focus on our skills and the tools necessary to become duplicators, not superstars in recruiting, not superstars in retailing, but superstars in duplication, which means whatever it is that you've learned how to do, you're able to transfer that to others, and they in turn are able to transfer that to others, and now you create a generational effect, and that generational effect creates the compounding effect, which is exponential growth. And therefore, our 50 million to 500 million in 5 years is possible. So, as we mentioned as well at the end of December, upon that announcement, the only question that remains for each of you as individual entrepreneurs is what amount of that 500 million will your business represent? How much of that 500 million in 5 years' time will your Niken business be representing? Will it be what it is now? Will it be 2 times what it is now, 3 times, or will it be 10 times what it is now? So, or will it be considerably more? This is an opportunity for somebody to shoot out ahead of the pack, and I'll just tell my story real quick. In January of 1992, I launched Niken in Canada along with a bunch of other people. I mean, there were hundreds of people at the initial meetings, and but my team was organized, focused, committed to a rhythm, and we dominated the space. And I became Niken's top income earner in Canada and remained that way because no one could catch up. Now, that was that cycle in that wave. We're now in a new wave, which means it's anybody's guess as who's going to be the dominant player in this next wave, in this next growth phase of 10x. It could be you, it could be somebody you enroll, it could be somebody way down in your organization. Hopefully it is, because 6% of whatever that business is going to be what you earn if you're the one who's upline that they are part of. So the goal here then is to first and foremost dictate or announce to yourself at the very least, what is your expectation in the next 5 years where your Niken business is concerned? If you don't have a high expectation, then what you need to work on is your the area that most people need to work on is personal development. And for that, I would suggest participate in humans being more regularly, because there's only one reason why a person would have low expectations, and that is a reflection of one's self-image. It is not a reflection of Niken. And so you need to work on that. And that's something that you need to pay a price to have. And that's a commitment of time and energy and focus on really looking at what it is that would cause you to have a low self-image. I happen to be one of the people who believe we come from a creator, and a creator that created everything does not have a low self-image of either himself, itself, or its creation. So the self-imposed mediocrity is something that we need to break through if we're going to make this 50 million to 500 million happen. And since you are the audience on this call as a portion of the Nikan family that's going to be in this game, I really need you to focus on, or you need to really spend some time in some type of a personal development curriculum. There's many I can recommend. There's many online courses. There's many books. I've tons of books that I read and have read. And that is something that allowed me to even imagine a future here 33 years later. Imagining a bright future for all of us is only possible because I can imagine it. And if you can't, then you're stuck, and you need to get out of that stuckness and get on. So, Barb, I see you have your hand up. I'm not sure where you're coming from yet, so let me finish where I'm at, and then we'll get back to. So this is kind of a recap for those of you joining us tonight. This call is called Aligning with Success. Success is a frequency. Success is a state. Success is a condition. Success is an objective. So if you're not aligned with it, then you're not going to experience it. Defining success is very important. We've had, as I said, definitions of success in Nikan, from a successful retailer to a successful spot recruiter. But the real goal here, the real prize that we are going to spend time and energy on, is successful network marketing. That means duplication. That means whatever it is that you're doing needs to be able to be done by others easily, and in a manner that's simple. And Nikan is doing its best to simplify the process. I don't know if you know this, but when you enroll somebody today, you don't have to enter their social insurance information in that enrollment process. That's new. And that's because it slowed down the process. It made the process more complex. And people are reluctant to give up their social insurance number until they really have some skin in the game. So when it becomes relevant is when they've got a check that they want to cash, that they want to have transferred into their bank account. And then they can fill out the information in their back office. So it's just a simple thing, but it's a thing that enables us to accelerate the recruiting and sponsoring of people with less hoops. The fewer hoops there are to jump through, the better. Also, one of the things that we talk about on this call is, what is the character of your business? What are you setting up to duplicate? Do you have a way of getting someone started? Do you have a recommendation for them when they're placing their initial order? Do you have that culture established? And if you don't, then you need to do that. I recommend you ask people to do at the very least what you did to get started, because that's duplication. If you want to accelerate your business, leverage the packs. Nikan has these packs for a reason. It's to give us a simple way of enrolling someone and getting them started with a product category. Again, it's a simplification of enrollment and getting someone started. If you're starting this business as a business, does it matter what product you start with, or what grouping of products you start with? Just an open question. Does it matter? If you're starting this business as a business? Not really, right? Because we represent all the products. But if you're starting this business thinking you're a customer, then you're going to be thinking, oh, I want to get this because I like this for me. And I want to get this because I want this for me. So the difference between a business mindset and a customer mindset needs to be sorted out pretty quick when you're enrolling somebody. Again, that comes down to your culture when you're enrolling them. Do you have a process? Do you have something that you follow? If you're not following anything, there's a couple of options. Dave has put together an excellent website. and you can follow smartnetworker.com and participate and just plug into that information flow. Nikin back office also has getting started procedures. The point is, if you're a business owner and your business is about duplication, what are you duplicating is the question. And if you're not sure how to answer that question, you've got some homework to do if you're going to become an effective recruiter and leader in that challenge. Um, let's see. We did set goals last week because we're focused on helping people achieve results. No goals, there's no way of knowing whether or not we are successful in our efforts, in our campaigns. And so you're in the business of setting goals if you're going to be in the business of building a network marketing business. Setting goals, helping others set goals, and striving to achieve them. Do we always achieve our goals? Hell no. But we always set them because it helps us create a condition in our mind. It helps us direct our attention to the actions, the activities that need to happen. It also plugs us into our upline and the leaders that are leading. I don't spend time with people who don't have goals. I'm telling you right now, I don't waste my time. My life at 60 is way too important to me the way I invest my time. I do not invest time with anyone who doesn't have a goal. You could be in my downline, you could be sponsored by me. No goal, no time. The thing that brings me and them together is a common purpose when it comes to the business. You have to have a goal that we can work towards. That's where we create engagement. That's where we get on the same page. That's where we can align to succeed. Get it? So these are simple business concepts. There's nothing new about this. And this is how we achieve success and then duplicate that. So, if you haven't set a goal for the month of January, that's something you should do. But I'll tell you how we did it last week. Again, I remind you that the call was recorded if you want to watch the playback. It was a great call, a lot of good feedback. But we started with the end in mind. And the end in mind was it's December of 2025, and it's December 15th of 2025. You go into your back office as you usually do to look at what was the deposit, or maybe you look at your bank account. I don't know what process you use to evaluate what your income is, but there it is. You're looking at it on your computer screen or on your phone, and you see the amount that was deposited in your account, December 15, 2025. What is that amount? You need to decide that now. And then working backwards from there, we look at what are the steps to get to that? What are the monthly progressions? And then you can see it breaks down. You can grow the business, which is the goal, is to grow it into that income stream over the course of these next 12 months. And so now we're in January, we're halfway through January, and we've already started. So if you're not, you need to catch up. You need to catch up so that this year becomes something of use to you. Barbara, you've got your hand up. What do you got?
I do. I didn't send you my goals. I apologize for that. But I did set some goals. And as you know, 2024 has not been a usual year for me. However, I got some good news from the surgeon on Thursday. I'm in a brand new community. I know absolutely nobody here. So I have reached out to the community through their Facebook pages. There's two of them. And I asked them for suggestions on the best way to get to meet other people within the community. I also asked them for restaurants and volunteering opportunities. I received a tremendous feedback. So I have now got a calendar of what days to be at what place to meet up with people, just in general conversation, just to meet with different people and start building some relationships and having the opportunity to find out interest levels or what people are looking for just by asking the right questions. And so my intention, not only am I wanting to build a new group and a new team where I'm living, but I have also sent an email out to my existing team telling them what my plan is for 2025, that I would like to invite them to join me, and that we're going to use the We Accelerate incentive to for team building. So that's how I've started out in January, but I'm excited to have these leads. I've been limited as to my mobility, but I'm able to drive within 5 kilometers. I've got to keep it 5 kilometers.
Let me just recap here, Barb. Don't want to get too far down the bunny trail here. So you initiated a call for help. What
Yep.
you did was you asked for help.
Yes.
That's something that everybody can do. That's why I'm recapping, because I want to translate what you personally are doing into something everyone can do. Everyone can ask for help. Now, you just happen to be moving we're not going to all pick up and move into a new city or town or something, but you can ask for help. And you can ask everybody, including the people, like you said, you've reached out to some others, or you've contacted other people in your team and told them what you're doing, but you can also simply contact people and ask for help. A couple of weeks ago, 2, 3 weeks ago, we also recapped something that Luis Kasuga had suggested very, very strongly that we do, and that is contact everybody in our network, our current network, our current family and friends, our sphere of influence, our circle of influence, and invite them to review your quiz on your new Nikken Facebook page, which is an opportunity for you to reach out to them and say, hey, there's something new I'd like your help with. Nikken has put this quiz together. It's interactive, which means once you've completed and submit your email information, I'm going to get notification, and I want to make sure it's working. Would you please take a few minutes and go through this? Well, the quiz, if you haven't done it, will guide them to discover what it is that might actually be a need for them. So it's also an opportunity to brush off the cobwebs and help your immediate sphere of influence re-engage with what it is that you're doing, and maybe a need may surface that was in the background. So something you can do right now. Right now, let's kick off this new year with this new website, with this new opportunity to re-engage our community. Dave, you there?
Yeah, I am. Can you hear me?
Can hear you. Yeah.
Oh, great. Well, nice to be on the call. I'm sorry I had to travel to the airport, but here we are. So we're mid-January. So based on what this call was about, this is the time that if you set a goal for the month, you should be getting close to halfway through it. And now the strategy would be to then figure out, well, what do you have to do to finish it? And which is really important. And it's an ongoing game. You know, it's kind of like playing a football game, and you start the first quarter, the second quarter, third quarter, fourth quarter, and it ain't over until it's over at the very end of the deal. And you know, you push. And I know, like, both Michael and I, when we reached significant goals, I mean, it wasn't over till midnight of the final day of the month that we were trying to reach a goal, and that's playing the game. So one of the things that I just posted on the Smart Networker, a new document for those that are interested, which is really it's an administrative tool that allows you to incorporate everything that you're doing and put it in order so that you can then focus on what needs to be done, knowing that when you do those activities, you get the results that you're after. And it's really a remarkable tool. I invite you to take a look at it and review it, because it will really, I used it in my whole career. Every time I ran into a situation, I just redid it and redid it and redid it and redid it, and then it allowed me to figure out what had to be done and to stay focused. And I think that, you know, what we are faced with in today's world is we're sidetracked. And there are so many distractions in life today. We're moving at such a rapid pace, and it seems that there's so much that you need to pay attention and do and take care of and be places and so on and so forth. And you're being bombarded by the messages that constantly are telling you that. But I want to tell you something. You don't have to buy into that. If you put in your control, if you put in your organization, if you put in your time frames and you decide, because here's the other thing that I know, and Mike will, I know will back me up. Results come about by doing things, and they also come about by not doing things. So, the big fat goose egg in the checkbook at the end of the month it pretty much says, well, not much was done. But the big check and the big thing that's what we're trying to accomplish is that we do that. Now, two things came up. Was reviewing a couple of videos, and one of the things that is really important when you embrace Nikon, a network marketing company, somebody that's in multi-level marketing, whatever their case may be. I just did a podcast. It's also on the Smart Networker. And the guys behind the podcast were real estate people. And the realization that they had after listening to me was that they said, Dave, our business is network marketing, just like your business is network marketing. And I said, you're absolutely correct. We do the same stuff. We just have a different name. So I think that's really important. Anyway, that's what I got to say right now.
Thanks, Dave. I'm glad you brought up the example of the football game. I like that example because if you notice these championship games, especially, no, I can't believe how fast they can score points in the last 2 minutes of the game. They can go back and forth and they can score points like it's going out of style because they're willing to do whatever they have to do to win. Meanwhile, the whole game could be a snoozer. So it's amazing, but that's how it works. And it's the same in our business. You could have a month that looks like it's a snoozer, but things can come fast and furious towards the end of the month if you've got a focus, if you've got a commitment to achieve the goal, or in this case, win the game. And so it really comes down to being willing to play the game and play hard. It's fun. I just find that if I'm not playing the game, I'm not having fun. So, Sherelle, you got your hand up.
Thank you. Okay, so I am using the quiz to re-engage with my family members. So they are doing the quiz. They're going to get the quiz back to me. And we're also talking about, because they're one of my sisters, I don't know, she's very fearful of germs, and she's on the internet. She see people getting sick, and she know I don't get sick. And she know I don't get sick because I use Nikon products on the inside and on the outside. So she already knows that if she wants to be well and stay from not getting sick, she needs to come and talk to me. And she is talking to me now. We're getting to some things together so she can get an order together, and so she can just continue in that area. And also, I have 3 gentlemen from my Whisper campaign that I'm working on getting through my 5-step process. So I'm hoping to have 3 people at least somewhere in the process on next week. I know one of the gentlemen that I'm talking to, he's a bus driver, so he may not be able to plug into the rhythm, but he's open to do the Thursday Show Me the Money call. So once I have all of these things lined up, I'll be able to communicate with you guys so I can get the support that I need in order to get these people through the information process where I want them to be. Okay. Also, I'm looking into doing using one of the rooms at the library that's not too far from where I live. I'm working on a vision board workshop. The board members of the library are meeting on Wednesday, and I'm going to go in there so I can meet them and ask them what the process is to see if I could use one of their rooms to host a vision board workshop. As long as they say I can serve water, my waterfall will be set up there. I'm not going to say anything about Nikon, nothing about waterfall, nothing about anything at that time. It's going to be for vision board and networking. So I got some things, some irons in the fire, and the wheels are turning. I got my post-it right here with my check on it for 12, 15, 25. So we're going to see how much work I can do in order to get me that check that's on this post-it right here in 12, 15, 20,
Sherelle,
25. Yes,
I'm not a betting man, but if I was, I would not bet against you. It
correct.
sounds to me like you have it going on, and I'm listening as you're describing the various things that you're doing with people. It sounds like you actually have a language, which you have, which you've adopted, which sounds like a system, like you talked about
Yes.
the show me the money call and so forth. I hope you guys are hearing that because with that comes confidence. And when you're a confident person, reaching out to people, engaging people is easy. It's something you enjoy doing because you've got something to offer. You're
Absolutely.
not you're not sitting there wondering, what if they actually like what I say and then I don't know what to say next. You have no fear. So,
Correct.
Sherelle, like I said, I wouldn't be betting against you. Platinum is your goal, I know. And so, once again, one of the things that I'm going to suggest, Sherelle, is draw it out. I know we talked about it on the last call. Draw it out. That's not a small goal. Keep drawing out your goal. Use some kind of and the thing that I use for me, whether you do use this document or you actually just draw it out on a blank piece of paper, draw it
Yes.
out. And what's it look like when it's completed? Like if this was 1,500 points in each of these slots, it'd be a goal.
Right.
So, so then that's what you're working toward. You have some kind of a visual. Believe me, we are visually oriented. We think in pictures. If I say pig, you see a pig. If I say dog, you see a dog. If I say house, you see a house. We think in pictures. And so it's important to do that vision board. It's important to do the things that help you visualize what your business looks like as a successful business or as the outcome. If I say 6,000 points, you don't get a visual. I say 15,000 points, you don't get a visual, right? And yet our compensation plan, our rank advancements is based on that. So you've got to turn it into a visual, draw it out so that each person represents a component of that 15,000 or that 6,000 or that 30,000. Draw it out, see it as a schematic of your team.
Yeah, I got my silver distributorship right here. So that's the first goal. So we're gonna
One
knock
sec.
that
I
out.
want to zoom in on that. Hang on. I'm going to pin
Yeah.
that so everybody can see that. Beautiful. Okay, so there you go. You got yourself a whiteboard. Again, hey, that sounds like something I would do. In fact, I have my whiteboard in the other room. So, yeah, you have to have that's somebody who's planning their activities, planning their business. It's visual. You've got a whiteboard. Hey, guys, if you want to do something this week, and you don't have any of these things going for you, do it. Go get yourself a whiteboard. Start putting together your vision and your vision board if you haven't got that. These are the simplest of things. And yet, if you're not doing it, you're not going to build a business that's worth following. Nobody's going to be able to follow you because it's hit and miss with you. It's a hope and a prayer rather than a plan. All right, cool. Barbie, you got your hand up again. Let's keep
I
that one short
do.
because I want to get to some others as well.
I do. As people have come through this place where I'm currently living, I've been introduced as the lady who introduced them to healthy water. And they would say, well, how do you know about that? Anyhow, to cut it short, I've given them my website and encouraged them to take the quiz. Also, the people that I'm meeting with in the near future, I have an agenda of questions that I want to ask them. And I want to ask all of them to recommend places that I could rent for meetings, because there's no way in my current living situation that I can be having people coming here. It's just not appropriate. But
Okay.
so I'm already trying to scope out meeting rooms. And I've got a plan of what to go through to the questions to find out, are they just going to be a product enthusiast, or can we take it all the way through to being a business partner? What is their interest? If they are looking for money, how much money do they want to earn? And by when? What's their target date? How committed are they to work towards it? And then start them on them. We accelerate, get their order, good, better, best order done
Just let me jump in here for a second. By the way, it's not common that people get these questions asked of them. Don't think for a second that everybody's getting a question, hey, how much money would you want to make and by when? That is not something people have in the course of their day, very much, the course of their week or month. So if you come along, start asking those kinds of questions, already you set yourself apart from everybody else they're talking with. And since it is them answering the question for themselves, it creates interest because it's about them getting what it is that they want. So,
And then you set up a private meeting. If you're in a grouping and people are talking about this sort of thing, then you set up a private meeting after that to take
exactly,
through the process.
exactly. That's what you do. You
But
set
things
up a
are in
private
motion,
meeting.
Mike.
So
My
what
new
you said
location,
it
I'm in motion.
good. And what you said, what started this motion is a reach out campaign. I wrote this down, a reach out campaign. So a number of you have been in Nikan for a long, long time, and you probably are saying, where am I going to find 100 new leads? Because man, if I had 100 new leads, I would be bulldozing through those leads with these questions and so forth, right? Like, would everybody not agree that if I had 100 fresh leads, I would be busy? I would have a lot to do in terms of contacting, inviting, and introducing. So, what if your month of January was entirely focused on lead generation? That's all you just focused on was generating leads by asking people for their help, by asking people to go through your personal webpage and take the quiz. If you did that with the goal of achieving 100 new leads, think about it. Then you kick off February with 100 new leads. I'm guessing, however, in the process of generating a lead, you're going to create interest. And so you may not actually get to 100 new leads. You might end up having some new people interested that you're getting into the process as a consequence of that. That's what I found when I had my original list. I had 165 names on my list. I never got through all 165 names because people started asking a bunch of questions and that created interest and that created follow-up and that. So they sort of took me off the course of initial contact and into the second and third and fourth steps of the process, but it didn't stop me recruiting the people that I did. So if your goal is to reach out and contact people, and the result of that goal is you create engagement, isn't that what you want? So I think a really good objective, a really strong objective that will feed the fire of you, fuel the engine of your business is reach out campaign. Set a goal, if you haven't already, to make 100 new contacts. 100 new contacts. That might be to go to 100 people on your warm market list and ask them for a name. What would you ask them? How would you ask them? How about starting with, I need your
Or
help?
cold market, which mine is going to be.
Or cold market, however you come by it. Leo is using social media. That's his method of engagement. He's creating over 100 contacts in less than a month, doing it exactly that way by creating conversations online and then seeing who reacts to his conversations and then reaching out to them. There's all
I
kinds of
figure if I can
methodologies.
generate enough curiosity, Mike, that somebody that may not be interested themselves may happen to mention it to a friend, and the friend may say, well,
I
who
had
is
2
this
leads
person?
today.
I might want to know more about it.
I had 2 leads today just that way. That somebody else reached out to somebody else. In Montreal, Leo, I'm coming after you. So, okay. Anyone else want to jump in? And if you're hesitating, here's what I wanted to get to as a next thing on this call. Resistance. What's the resistance you're getting, or the objectives you're getting as you are engaging, as you're entering this process of communicating with people? Jeannie.
This is so good. Um, I've been thinking about, well, I had all the people at my market I had talked about before. And I have a lot of repeat customers from, I sell a kitchen gadget. Okay. And I've been there 17 years with this kitchen gadget, and they all bring their friends back, and they're Canadians and they're Minnesota and all the people because our weather is nicer here. So they come for several months. So I've been brainstorming on how can I ask them for something or a request of them. And so I remembered in Dave's course a year or two ago, we talked about creating a survey. And I've been thinking about finances. And so I went on AI and I said, give me a 10-question financial survey. So I pulled that down, and a lot of it's general financial goals and things like that too. And so I've been talking like to my neighbors at the market who are vendors to say, hey, do you guys have financial goals for this year? And that kind of thing, you know?
Yeah.
So, and that's helping me to feel more comfortable about asking about it. Richard Brooke always says, other people's money is your business. So we need to understand that because we have a way. And he also said that everybody needs more money. Everybody wants more money. Doesn't matter how much money you have, they're spending according to that, you know, that kind of thing. So anyway, I've been doing 4 a day since the 1st of January, sending my quiz to my list in my phone book. And I've gotten several replies, and I've gotten their email back to me with what their goal is or what their opportunity is. 2 of them are financial, 2 are stress. I have 2 that are energy related. That's what the quiz, you know, where their maybe weak spot is or whatever you want to call that. So now I'm following up. It's a conversation starter. And these are some people that I'd sent my 1-minute miracle to from Richard Brooke before 2 years ago. I sent 4 a day, 4 a day, 4 a day for like 90 days. And they're in my phone book. And so the people that in my warm market that know me. So I've gotten a lot of good responses, and I've got some that have not responded. So I'll just send it again. Hey,
Excellent. Okay.
did you see it? So
That's a great work ethic for a day. And as you see, the results and by the way, keep tabs on the numbers too, because then
yeah.
what you have is you have a tracking system, you have a way of showing somebody brand new, hey, this is what I did to produce
the
this
duplication.
result. Duplication. The key is whatever you're doing, it has to be something you can teach someone else to do, especially if it's producing numbers. And everybody's numbers are going to be a little different. Everybody has a certain hit rate, let's just say, you know. I want to share something here. I just got sent this by Mrs. Kramer. I'm not sure if I can share this or how to share this, but let me see if I can try. So let's go to open the file. I'm going to share.
I don't know if you can share it because I tried, but I can do it. I can share screen.
Oh, leave it to me. I'll figure it out. Here we go. Can y'all see that now?
Let's see if I can.
Can you guys see that?
Yes.
Mrs. Kramer, can you explain what we're looking at?
Yes, this is my January to March plan, my 90-day plan. And my goal is gold. Dave is my sponsor. And I had an amazing, helpful conversation with Dave several weeks back. So I need to do, if I'm doing 100, which I'm doing my 100 every month, 500, 500, and 500. I didn't put names in here. I have names.
Okay.
In a different document, the same thing, but with actual names in it. And then as a platinum, I'll continue doing my 100, and I'll sponsor 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. So there's my 30,000. And then when I'm a diamond, I'll continue doing the same thing. 500, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50.
I'm not sure where you're getting those 50. Numbers.
Yeah.
I'm seeing So you
3,000.
platinum, I've got 5. You got 6 people who you've
3,000.
enrolled at 5,000. That's 3,000. How do you get?
I've got them from the business plan.
No. I guess what we're looking at, I'm trying to understand what we're looking at. So with you as a gold, you have 3 people doing 500, and then you as a platinum, you have 6 people doing 500. You mentioned more numbers than what we're seeing on the screen.
Down here. You see me at the diamond?
So you, me, diamond, yeah. There's 100 in you, and then you've got 500 below you times however many of those boxes there are. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. I get 14 boxes.
Just do 9. Forget about these up here. Just do 9. 5 to 9 is 45.
Right. Okay. So what you're basically doing is you're seeing each
4,500 though.
you're seeing each person contributing 500 points, each team member contributing 500 points to the objective. Yes?
Yes.
And then it's a matter of multiplying the number of team members generationally, personally and generationally, so that you're accumulating enough 500 points producers to generate the volume necessary to hit the goal, correct?
Correct.
Okay, and that's all we need to see. And this is a schematic. This is how you do it. This is how you map it out, guys. You got to visually see the numbers, and then you'll find the people who fill in the blanks. But you got to see, it's like a position. You got a position for hire, and you know what the position entails, but now you got to find the person who's going to fill the position. That's kind of essentially what a plan looks like when you're building a network marketing plan like this. But what I like about this plan is nobody's being asked to do any more than anybody else. It's 500 points. That's the business model. So it's multiples of 500 points. Now, when you first launch somebody, which is what we spoke about last week, and again, if you have not seen last week's call, make sure that's the next call you listen to. The very next call you listen to. Because last week's Aligning with Success call, we spoke very much about the concept of the launch, how critical that is for a business builder. When you engage somebody new and you enroll somebody new, your job is to launch them. So when you launch somebody, they may do considerably more than 500 points. But the 500 points is what they're doing with regularity, because I don't need them to do 500 points just once. I need them to do it every month, so that as I accumulate others, we're accumulating multiples of 500. I don't want somebody to do 3,000 one month and 0 the next. So what her business plan says is, this is the baseline for each business builder. It's 500. When we launch them, they could do considerably more. I expect somebody to go silver when I launch them. That should be the consequence of a good launch. It's not the goal. Nobody you enroll and nobody on this group call should have a goal of going silver. Silver is not your goal. Silver is a rank advancement that enables you to generate more income in Nikken so that you can actually get closer to achieving your goal, whatever that is. You understand then? That the rank advancement, the objective of going silver, that should be a consequence, not a goal. It should be a consequence of you doing what has to be done to start moving in the direction of your goal. And it's an organized launch campaign. Mrs. Kramer, the link for the YouTube is posted on all the WhatsApp channels. So if you just scroll back a week, I posted the link for the YouTube.
Mike, you told me that I have to be, in order to be on the team, I have to be on WhatsApp, and I cannot use what if you want to have a private conversation about why I will not use WhatsApp, we can do that.
Okay. Well, I can only imagine, but certainly we can do that. And And I'm not sure what methodology you're using, but again, it comes down to duplication. As long as the people on your team are able to, communicate with you and us, there's got to be something that is systematic that goes beyond politics.
This is not a matter of politics.
Okay.
By the way, you mentioned chattering on Facebook and social media, and so I have been chattering with a lot of people in in Mississippi, where my sister and all of her kids and all of their families and all of their in-laws live, and I'm making a lot of new connections there. So I'm chattering, and I have people asking me, so what is your solution? And
Nice.
this is regarding, the financial situation, the health situation, whatever.
So then
So,
send them a
I'm chattering.
video, or invite them to a call, invite them to tomorrow's call, invite them to learn what the solution is. And what I like about um, when somebody asks, I like asking them on a scale of 1 to 10, how serious are you about a solution? Because that really allows me and them to acknowledge whether or not they're serious about it or they're just asking because they're curious. I want to turn the curiosity into interest. So always asking that question on a scale of 1 to 10, how serious are you about knowing? And then that gives us an opportunity to really evaluate, am I just, chattering, or am I actually solving a problem, solving a need? Okay, it's 8:51. Does anybody else want to go up and talk about any resistance or objectives that you're engaging in right now? Because there's a lot of homework. There's a lot of stuff that we've talked about in the last couple of weeks that are action oriented. And if you're not taking the action, that means you're up against some kind of a resistance. What's the resistance? Anybody?
Yeah, Mike, it's Paul Gabios here. I don't have my video on, but
Yeah, you do.
Um,
We can see you, Paul.
okay. Well, okay. So I made a bunch of I found a bunch of videos that I like that are much shorter than the Balanced Life, Happy Life. I put them on Core Consultant and other places.
Hmm?
And so I'm leading with the quadrants from Robert Kiyosaki. And so somebody I'd been corresponding with before that I met in Tucson, he keeps saying he's interested. And then one time I phoned and it was dinner time. I said, can we? He said, well, what can we talk quickly? I didn't want to talk quickly. I didn't. Can we have a time? And he set a time, and then of course he wasn't ready or he wasn't there or something. So, like people are. So I think what you had asked, if somebody says, oh, yes, I'm interested, I think my key question has to be, how serious are you? I didn't ask that
Yeah.
because if
No,
that's not
I want them
nailed down,
quantify it. Like if you're going to ask that question, then
yeah,
say on a scale of 1 to 10, how
yeah,
serious are you about that?
yeah, because that is more likely to lock in,
Yeah, well, what if somebody
future
says 7?
interactions.
What if somebody says to you, I'm about a 7?
That's not that a lot. That's not a lot, but it's
Yeah, what I
some.
would
But
say is, well, when it gets to 10, give me a call.
okay, yeah, right. Because I really feel I'm sorting. I don't have time anymore for, I'm looking for people who are, serious about this, about a business, looking at a business. So, yeah,
It's really simple. I mean, if we look at if we understand statistics, if we understand of a population of 100 people, wherever you might live, doesn't matter. Out of 100 people, what percentage of that population are entrepreneurial? What percentage of that population is actually interested in getting out of the situation they're in or improving the situation in? If we go strictly on statistics, we know it's under 20%. So
yeah,
that means
yeah,
8 out of every 10 people you're talking to is a waste of time when it comes to the business.
yes,
Now, it doesn't mean it's a waste of time when it comes to the product, but you need to recognize that quickly and pivot, because otherwise you're going to be pushing a rope and it's not going to lead to a solution. So recognize this. If they're not asking the right questions, if they're not making, that's why it's important you ask a lot of questions, because 20% of the population, 20 to 28% is the actual number. I'm more conservative. 20% of the population is who we're looking to talk with in a serious way. 20%. Now, does that mean the person I'm talking to is a 20%er? I don't know. How do I know? I have to ask questions. I have to get a sense. And everybody, 100% of them are going to say, yeah, I want to be rich. Yeah, I want to be famous. Yeah, I want to make more money. 100% of them will say that. But only 20% are willing to do what it takes to get out of the situation they're in. So you definitely are in the sorting business. Definitely. And I'm speaking as a person who's built a large network marketing business and has helped others do the same. I never mince words. My business is not my charity. It's not my social cause. It's a business, but it just so happens to fill a huge social need. And so how do you become a provider of that in a significant way? Build a Royal Diamond business, guys. Build a Royal Diamond business and you will have tons and tons of influence. You will have made a huge impact commercially. You will have made a huge impact on a social level. You will have made a huge impact on people's physical and mental well-being. Build a Royal Diamond business, and the consequences of that effort is going to be the impact that you've made on all those fronts.
You know, Mark, I
So
was going to be even more conservative because I looked at, when you asked me what percentages are interested, I just, what percentage of people go Royal Diamond? It's like,
that's different.
1% or something.
No, but that's different.
Okay.
That's that what the percentage of people who go Royal Diamond, it's the same in every business. This is the same. We're in business. So every statistic of every business on the planet is identical. The number of people that reach the top incomes is in the top 1%. That's always what it's going to be, because it's not a function of the opportunity. It's a function of the individual's willingness to grow and be committed to that growth. Period. It has nothing to do with anything else. Anybody can become a one percenter. I am convinced of that. I've seen it enough times. I don't have to be sold on that idea. Anybody can become a one percenter. The question is whether they are willing to, if it's a focus for them, if it's a priority for them. And it may not be for a lot of people. That's okay, but it is for some.
So I guess you're saying that 20% of people who initially are serious, they, like everything else in network marketing, they pare themselves, that percentage pares itself down. And so we just have to always keep looking for those, for those people who will make the 1% or who want to.
Well, okay, so how about if we find them sooner than later? How about you find your three sooner than later?
I would love to.
Okay, so how about you find your three this year? Let's not wait another year. Let's just do it this year. Let's do whatever it
Yes.
takes to get enough people through this process where you're concerned with the right information, with the right questions to find out who is serious upon serious.
Yeah. Yes. 'Cause
So
I
they're out there. We know they're out there. It's just a question of finding them. You don't even have to make them. They're already breathing air. That's the good news. They're already walking the planet on two legs. You don't have to do the hard part, which is giving birth. They're already here. So
Yes.
you
Okay.
just got to find them.
Yeah. And so sort.
Sort, which means reach out, reach out, reach out, which means don't let every contact weigh you down mentally and emotionally. If you're going to play Mother Teresa, this is not the business for you, because
Yes.
it's simply not. It is a business first and foremost. Second, there has to be a need that you're trying to solve or trying to meet. And if that person doesn't have a need other than a social connection, then you've turned your business into a social enterprise. And that's a different business altogether. I'm nobody's psychiatrist. I love people. I love interacting with people, but it has to be goal oriented. Otherwise, it's just time burning away. And time is my most precious commodity. I cannot get it back. You cannot get it back. So don't burn it. Make sure it's doing some good, you know?
Yeah,
My will,
yeah.
God's will is my will. And I'm pretty sure he put me on the planet to help and move things along rather than to just sit there and, pat myself on the back.
Well, I like how this conversation has turned.
All right. Good. And we need that. We need more of that because you know what? The people who you want to attract into Nikan who are going to be part of that 500 million, they're not sitting around waiting for something to hit them. They're already busy. They're already looking. They're already turning over stones. They're already engaged. So don't be surprised if they're busy, they're engaged. But they may not have the best mousetrap. You do. So it's up to you to help them see that.
Yes.
Okay. Well, our time is up for tonight. I'll post this call as I do every call on the Royal Alliance YouTube channel. Again, you can find everything that we're doing on all the chats. There is one chat some of you may not be aware of since this is your first call. There is a chat that we publish monthly. It's a monthly chat. You're only on it for the month if you have a goal, if you've set a goal for the month. That is available. I guess we're going to have to repost some of the tools. There's a document that we've circulated called Mining for Diamonds. It's the Diamond Accelerator Team document, and its title page says Mining for Diamonds. In it are all the links to be able to join the calls that we're doing. One of these calls is a call that you can only join on Thursday if you have a guest who's interested in the money side of the business, the conversation about money, because they now have that question, that burning question. And that call is a call that you request to be on weekly. So we don't have that call unless there's somebody requesting it, but it's scheduled for Thursday at 8. And it's not always happening. It's only happening if you have a guest that you've invited in. You're part of the group chat. This month's the group chat is called January We Accelerate Team. So the January We Accelerate Team, this is the group chat for January. That means those who are on this chat have goals and are on this chat because they want to have special time and attention with myself and Dave for strategy. And it'll be called February We Accelerate Team in February because we refresh the chat monthly with those who have a goal. Why are we doing that? Because we don't want that chat to become a social club. We already have a number of chats that have turned into social clubs and commentaries rather than business-oriented plans. So this chat is refreshed monthly with those who have objectives for the month that we can work with on a monthly basis. So if you want that kind of attention on you and your business, then join that chat. If you are questioning how to get there, once again, either ask somebody on this call or get to that document. I will republish that document on the chats so that you can get on if you choose to on the God, there's so many chats. Hang on. The core consultant chat. That's where I'll publish it. So if you're not on the core consultant chat, then you haven't been part of the conversation of the community for a long time because that's where we are. All right, everybody. We'll see you next week. Again, if you haven't set a goal, set it. If you have set a goal, we're going to go into the third week of the month. We need to help you achieve that goal. So you guys got to chime in. Tell us where you're at. Tell us where the resistance is. Tell us where we can help. Everybody benefits from that
Will the
information.
Happy Life be tomorrow at 8?
I'm sorry. Yeah, tomorrow at 8 is the call. That is the opportunity call. Happy life, balanced life.
But that's, yeah, okay.
Yeah,
I sent
definitely.
you a message with my reason about what's on.
Okay. Thank you. Everyone, have a great night. Have a great week. Set those goals.
Thank you. Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Great call. Thank you.
Thank you.